Somewhere in the dark over a snowbound valley in Norway, a light is burning that no one can name. Not a star, not a plane. Scientists have watched it for more than 40 years with cameras and radar and instruments built to find the truth. They have proven it is real. They still cannot tell you what it is. The place is called Hessdalen, a narrow valley in central Norway, far from any city, where the winters are long and the dark comes early and stays. Only a small, scattered community has ever lived there, among low wooden farms and birch forest and iron-bearing hills. People had seen strange lights over Hessdalen for generations, lights that drifted along the ridgelands, that paced a walker on a lonely road, that hung over the rooftops and then were gone. For a long time, these were just stories, the kind a valley tells about itself on winter nights. Then in 1981, the stories turned into something no one could wave away. Between the December of 1981 and the middle of 1984, the lights came in a flood, not once a year or once a month. At the peak, the people of Hessdalen were seeing them 15 and 20 times a week, and they were not all the same. Some were small, like a lamp carried far off. Some swelled to the size of a house. They could be white or yellow or a deep red. Some lasted only a second or two. Others hung in the air for more than an hour, calm and patient, as if they were in no hurry at all. And they did not even keep to the night. A few came in broad daylight, pale shapes drifting against the white slopes. They moved in ways that made no sense. One moment a light would streak across the whole valley faster than any aircraft. The next it would slow and sway gently from side to side, and stop and simply rest above the snow. Sometimes one would flare, split, and send a smaller light darting off on its own. For the people who lived there, it was unsettling to have the sky behave like this above your home night after night. Word spread beyond the valley, and where most strange light stories draw only believers and dreamers, Hessdalen drew something rarer. It drew scientists with their instruments and their stubborn questions. In 1983, a team set up in the valley and called the effort Project Hessdalen. They did not come to argue about what the lights meant. They came to measure them. They brought cameras, radar, magnetometers to read the pull of the Earth's field, and analyzers to break a light apart into its colors. For 5 weeks in the winter of 1984, they watched. And the lights did not disappoint them. 53 times during that vigil, something appeared in front of the instruments. This was the moment the mystery changed. It was no longer one person's word against the dark. The machines had seen it too. The records were strange in their own right. Radar caught echoes from things the eye could barely see. Magnetometers twitched when the lights flared. And when the analyzers split the glow into a spectrum, they found the fingerprints of real burning matter. Not a trick of the eye, not a reflection. Whatever floated over Hessdalen was a physical thing, giving off real light and real energy. The watching did not stop when the team went home. In 1998, they built an automatic station in the valley, a small outpost that never sleeps. Year after year, it stares at the same dark slopes, waiting, and now and then it still catches a light moving where nothing should be. Much of that long patience belongs to one man. Erling Strand, a Norwegian engineer who helped found Project Hessdalen back in 1983, has kept the watch for decades. His students built the little automatic station by hand, a steel box they nicknamed the Blue Box, and set it running in the snow. It has been logging the valley's strange alarms ever since. Around the turn of the century, the work grew. Norwegian researchers from Østfold University College joined with scientists from Italy, including the astrophysicist Massimo Teodorani, in a series of campaigns they named Embla. They aimed better cameras and finer instruments at the lights, hoping that if they looked closely enough, the valley would finally give up its secret. They did learn. They measured how fast the lights moved, how their colors shifted, how long they burned. They watched one light hover, then drop, then climb again. But every careful answer about how the lights behaved only sharpened the harder question. What were they? And on that, the closer the scientists looked, the less certain they became. They did not stop trying to explain it. Over the years, the valley has been handed one theory after another, each built by serious people, each able to account for some of what is seen. The trouble is that not one of them has ever accounted for all of it. Start with the simplest answers, because some of them are true. Look up on the right night and a bright planet low on the horizon can fool anyone. So can the headlights of a far-off car bending through cold air, or an aircraft, or a mirage on a layer of freezing wind. Honest investigators showed that a share of the Hessdalen sightings were exactly these ordinary things, seen wrong, but that bucket empties out before the job is done. The ordinary explanations cannot touch the lights, the instruments caught at close range, the ones that hovered for an hour and left an echo on radar. Strip away every planet and every car, and a hard core of sightings is still standing, still glowing, still unexplained. So the scientists reached deeper into the rock itself. One idea, worked out by the researcher Jader Monari, is almost beautiful. The valley is split down the middle by a river. On one side, the rock is rich in iron and zinc, on the other, in copper. Put those metals on either side of running water, and you have built, by accident, the parts of an enormous natural battery, the whole valley quietly charged. It is an elegant thought. A landscape wired like a cell, leaking charge into the air, and now and then lighting a ball of glowing gas above the snow. The geology is real. The metals are really there. What no one has managed to show is that this gentle current could ever build the fierce, fast, hour-long lights that people actually see. Another team looked instead at dust. The valley air carries fine mineral grains, and burning dust can glow. They found metals like titanium in their samples, and for a while a Norwegian newspaper announced that the mystery in Hessdalen was solved. It was not. Smoldering dust can make a light, but it struggles to explain one that steers and hovers and outlasts an hour. Others turn to the stress in the bedrock. Quartz, squeezed hard enough, gives off a jolt of electric charge, and these hills are full of quartz under strain. Perhaps the idea ran, the Earth itself sparks the lights as it flexes. But in 2011, two physicists pointed out the flaw. That spark of charge cannot explain the neat, structured shapes seen at the heart of the brightest lights. The strangest idea of all may also be the most serious. Hessdalen sits on ground with some of the highest levels of radon gas in Europe. As radon decays, it throws off tiny charged particles, and those can turn the dusty valley air into a plasma, a glowing, electrified haze. In 2004, Massimo Teodorani measured higher radioactivity on the rocks, right where a large light had been seen. In this picture, the charged dust does not just glow. It can arrange itself, in the math at least, into ordered structures, even shapes like a coiled helix, which might explain why the brightest lights seem to have a pattern inside. It is a remarkable idea. It is also, so far, mostly a thing that happens in the equations and the simulations. No one has ever held a piece of Hessdalen's light in their hands. Years into the work, the project that has studied these lights the longest says it plainly. There is no single theory, not yet, that accounts for everything the valley does. Each explanation is a doorway into part of the mystery. None of them leads all the way through, and there is something quietly remarkable in that. We are used to mysteries built of missing evidence, of things that happened once long ago with no one left to ask. Hessdalen is the opposite. The evidence is not missing. The lights are still there. You can stand in the valley on a cold, clear night and wait, and sometimes one will come. 40 years of watching. Cameras, radar, spectrometers, the patient instruments of two countries' scientists. They have caught the lights, measured them, proven beyond any doubt that something real is burning over that valley. And then, with a rare and honest kind of courage, they have said the hardest words in science. We do not yet know what it is, so the valley keeps its light, and the watchers keep their watch. On the dark slopes of Hessdalen, the station still hums in the cold, its lens open to the empty air. And somewhere out over the snow tonight, perhaps, a small, impossible glow is rising, seen by no one, explained by no one, simply there. If you would like to stay a while longer in the quiet, there are more of the world's unsolved mysteries waiting here, told the same gentle way. Rest now. Let the valley keep its light a little longer. Sleep well.